Good morning, ma'am.
In today's class, we will try to see two concepts. One is pointers and structures, or you can say that pointers pointing to structures, and another is pointers pointing to functions, or we can pass the pointers as arguments to functions. So that is also called as call by reference. Let us first start with pointers and structures. So you know the definition of a structure. A structure is a user-defined data type wherein you can have a collection of various data types combined together. So if I create a structure, I will have to make use of the keyword struct, and inside that I can define my variables with different data types, with a combination of different data types. Now, how can we make use of structures and pointers together? So let us see an example now. Directly with the help of the example, we will be able to understand. Now what I'm going to do is, I need to declare a structure first. So first, let me declare the structure with the keyword struct. So let us say that I'm creating a structure of type book. Now, I will have two variables here. One is to store the name of the book. So to store the name, I will require a character data type. Then let me take another variable, that is, we'll try to store the price of the book. So we will take the data type for price as float. And I need to close the bracket here and give a semicolon. So you can have a look at this and recall the syntax for declaring a structure. So you can see here, when we talk about structures, we can have variables with different data types, mixed data types here. Now in my main function, I need to access my structure, right? So what we will have to do, we will have to have an structure variable, right? So how do I declare that? I have to write struct, give your structure name. Then I need to specify a variable by which I am able to access my structure. So let me say B. So this, with the help of this B variable, I will be able to access these elements. I'll be able to access this structure. So I have declared. Now we are talking about pointers. So let me also let me declare a pointer. So observe the syntax that I'm writing here. Okay. So if you look at this, now since you have come so far and we have implemented pointers, you will very much clearly be able to tell me that star PTR is a pointer. But if you look here, can you tell me what is the data type of the pointer here? Have a look at this statement. Since we have made use of asterisks, it indicates that this variable PTR is a pointer variable. Now, why have I declared this pointer variable? I have declared this because I need to point it to my structure. Like you have declared it previously for the arrays, and you have written PTR is equal to the array name, or you, for the variables you have written PTR is equal to ampersand of n, ampersand of x. So here I want my pointer to point to my structure. Okay. So if you remember again, whenever we declare pointer variables to access or to initialize them to the other variables, we always have to use the same data types. We cannot, even in the normal variable declarations, you cannot declare a variable of type integer and the pointer of type float. So we have seen this previously. I have told you this. You should try to recall this now. Since here we have declared the data type of structure, we will also have to declare the pointer's data type as struct, and we will have to, only then with this we will be able to access, or we will be able to point a pointer to the structure. Now the next part is we need to initialize the pointer. What is initialization here? We need the pointer. Our pointer is star PTR. I need this pointer to store the address of what? Of this structure. I need this pointer to store the structure of the address of this structure. So I will say PTR is equal to ampersand of B. Why B here? Because B is of type struct. This is the structure's variable. So this part or this statement is initialization of the pointer. To store what? To store address of the structure book. Okay. Now, let us try to first take input from the user. Okay. So I want from the user, let him enter the book name. So I've written a printf statement. Then we will try to store it. So for that we need to accept the user's input. So we are going to make use of scanf. Ampersand is needed. How do you try to store, or how do you try to accept the input from the user when you have structures? You have to write the variable name, dot operator, and then specify the name, that is the variable name to store the book. So b dot name and close this. Next we need another printf statement. So this time we need it to store the price. So instead of name, it is going to be price. Okay. Till here, have you followed? All of you? Should I repeat?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, we are trying to understand the concept of pointers and structures. Now, previously we have seen examples like where we have used pointers and arrays. Then we have used for pointers and normal variables. Let me write here in the comments so that you can relate. We have seen that if we have just random variable, this is how we try to initialize or use the pointer point to that variable. Also, when we talked about arrays, this is how we used it, right? So PTR was a pointer variable. Now what we want is the same PTR, that is a pointer variable, we want it to point to a structure. We are talking about structures. Now in C programming you have learned what is a structure, what is the definition of a structure. Structure is a user defined data type wherein you are able to store different you store variables which are of different data types. When I say array is basically able to store items but of the single data type there, right? When we declare int arr or we say float some array name there, what is going to happen? The same data types are stored in the array. But when you look at the structure, the difference between the arrays and structures is this one thing only. I'm also able to store here these items, but if you observe, you have different data types. There is no compulsion that all have to be of type char or all should be of type float. So now to declare a structure, okay, first we make use of the keyword struct and then you specify the structure name. So it could be struct book or it could be struct swap if you are trying to swap two numbers, or it could be struct some other name here, right? So here I have just, usually you have seen the examples of struct and student. That is the standard example that you have followed. Struct student, struct book. Now inside these I need variables, structure variables to store my data. So I have taken two, one to store the book name and one more to store the book price. So you need to end this structure with the semicolon here, right? Now in my main function, if I say that I have declared a structure and I need to access these, or I need to store data into these, I need a structure variable first of all. Okay, so for that we write the struct keyword, we write the structure name here followed by the variable name. This variable name B indicates that it is of type book, which is of type structure, right? Now till here structures is done. Next thing is we need pointers. Okay, why do we need pointers? What is the purpose of pointers? We want pointers because we want to initialize them. We want to initialize this to store the address of this structure. Just like here, we declared pointers and we initialized it to store the address of array. We initialized a pointer to store the address of variable X here. So here, I need to declare a pointer first. Now, the convention, normal convention, okay, whenever we declare pointers, can you recall from this? I assume that the variable X is of type integer. So how did we declare a pointer? We have declared the pointer also of the data type integer. Here also, if the array is of type integer, we have declared the pointer also of type integer. Then another example you also saw where we declared an array of strings. We had a string array there. We had declared it as char. So the pointer there also was, the data type was of char. So what is important is if you understand pointers properly, the pointer's data type and your variable's data type should be same. Otherwise, they cannot point to each other. I mean, otherwise the pointers will not be capable of holding their addresses of the variables. So the data types should be same. So here, what is the data type of this particular variable? It is structure data type. So I need to declare a pointer now of structure type only. The data type of the pointer should also be of type structure. Then once this is done, I need to initialize my pointer PTR. So how do we do? What is the syntax for initializing? Same as you have seen here. Okay, we need the pointers to store the addresses. So I'm going to say star PTR is equal to ampersand of B. Okay. PTR is equal to ampersand of B, or here you can write star PTR is equal to ampersand of B. Both mean the same. Okay. So we have initialized now our pointer variable to point to the structure variable, or to point to the structure data type. Were you able to understand this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Others, how about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, after the initialization, you tell me the statement, okay? Once more you tell me, PTR is a pointer. What is PTR storing? What does it mean and B? So what
storing the address of B, ma'am.
Storing the address of B, correct. But what is B? B is a structure here of, I've declared it here, struct book, right? We usually would write int B, or you say you have written char B, but here we are talking about structures, or even you have written arrays. So here we are initializing our pointer variable. Now the next thing is, I need to I need to take input from the user for the book name and my book price. So I have written printf statements and scanf statements to accept the user's input. So to accept the user's input here, since we are talking about structures, we make use of the dot operator. You can see here. When I say and, ampersand is basically for scanf statement to take the input. And usually for normal variables, you would just write and B. When it is a structure, you have to make use of the dot operator, and B dot the name of this variable in which you want to store. And I guess you have seen, you have initialized it like this, if I'm not wrong, in the first semesters. This is how you have initialized. You have given the book name, right? Say data structures. You would write a comma and then specify the next thing, that is the price. Something like this, and close it here. This is how we have used the structures. That meaning what? Data structure is the book name here, and comma, the next variable 78 is the price. So instead of doing this, we are trying to take input from the user here. So we have printf and scanf statements. Now once the user's input is stored, we need to access it, no? That is why we have made use of pointers here. So now observe this statement. I am writing printf. I will just be printing the user's input, okay? I'll just be printing the book's name, and I will be printing the book price. So since it is of type char, %s, comma, we have our pointer variable, I'll write another statement here. There are two ways how you are able to access.
Ma'am,
Yes?
scanf of price is %f, right?
Yes, yes, thank you. This has to be %f, correct. So here we will try to access with a different method, okay? See, I'm making use of the operator hyphen. Okay? Hyphen, or you would say minus, not an underscore, a hyphen or a minus, and the angular bracket, right angular bracket. And I'm going to write here price. Okay, till here we accepted the input. Next thing is I'm just going to print it. Whatever the user enters, I'm going to print it. Now since we have made use of pointers, like star PTR indicates a pointer, I'm going to access it with the help of the pointer. So in the brackets you have to write star PTR, that is your pointer variable name, give a dot operator, followed by which variable you want to access, name or price. This is one method. Another method is this. You have to write PTR, give the hyphen or give the minus symbol, give your angular bracket, and then you write the variable name, like I have written here, price. Does anyone know what this operator is called? This operator? You had structures, no, in the first semester. Did you have structures or not?
We had, ma'am.
You had. So are you able to recall that symbol? It is called what? Arrow operator. It is called the arrow operator, which is used for structures in C programming, or say data structures using C programming. This is called as arrow operator. Okay. Did you follow this program? I guess you have some doubts here. Can you please let me know what is the problem, which concept is not understood here?
Ma'am, the last line about the arrow operator, can you just repeat it?
Yes. I will have a look at the output, okay? Then we'll come back to the program and I'll tell you these two statements once again. Let me compile. Okay, we have one error. We need a semicolon. Rest is the warnings. Let us see where semicolon is missing. Here. Line number 13. A semicolon is needed. Book price, let me say 4567. Okay. Okay. So there was no error. I had just pressed the enter twice. That's why it came up directly, entered the next one. So observe here, we got the name that was entered by the user, right? And this is the price that was entered. We are able to access it. We are able to fetch it back. How? We'll have a look here. We'll go back to our program. Okay. Now these two statements. Let us first talk about arrays. If you had an array, how would you access any element that is present? You will usually write the array name in the and give a bracket and specify the index value like a of 0, right? Or if you have to take the input also, you would put it in the loop and then take with the help of the index values there. Now I need to have accepted here already, correct? I just need to print it. That is, I'm trying to access. Here I'm trying to store it. I'm trying to put it in the memory. Here I'm trying to get it back. Please mute your mic. Here I'm trying to get back the values. So for that, no, we make use of this dot operator. Remember the dot operator. For structures, you have to make use of this dot operator. Now there are two ways. How can you access? How can you get the values that you have stored in your structure? One method is making use of the pointer variable. You, in the brackets, you need to give your pointer variable name. So tell me, what is your pointer variable name here? Have a look here. By which variable name have we declared? By star PTR. So we give star PTR. With the dot operator, you need to access the variable name. Let me write here in comments. I need to specify my pointer variable, okay, followed by the dot operator, followed by the struct variable name. So first give your pointer variable, that is star PTR, give a dot operator, and then you specify any of these. If you want to access name, give that name. If you need to access price, give that variable name. So this is one method of accessing or getting your data. Another method is this. I guess you must have studied this in your first semesters. Making use of this operator. This operator here is called as arrow operator. You give a hyphen and give this arrow mark, the right angular bracket. Now this, what is the syntax of this here? Again, for that, you give your pointer variable followed by the arrow operator, followed by your arrow operator, which is this, and followed by the structure variable name, followed by your structure variable name. So here I have given my pointer. I'm accessing through this PTR. See, when you give arrow operator, no need to make use of the asterisk, correct? So if I'm making use of my arrow operator, I'll just say PTR. I won't say star PTR. So PTR is that, it means what? Pointer variable is pointing to my structure variable, that is price. Here also pointer variable is pointing to my structure variable name. So these two things will help us to access our data, that is get our data which is stored in these variables, here. So this is about pointers and structures. So you go through once again, see where you have not followed anything or you have certain doubts, ask.
Ma'am, is there any problem if we use asterisk symbol in arrow
operator? Let us check. Okay, I'll give a asterisk. We'll save it. See if you're getting any error.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So the syntax of this, no? With the program, okay. The syntax of this is without the asterisk operator. But that is why you have these two methods. If you are not making use of arrow operator, you will have to make use of the asterisk, because asterisk indicates the content. So similarly here we are trying to fetch the content. Any other doubts?
Ma'am, which is more efficient in both of them, or
No, both will take the same amount of memory or this, because we are not writing very huge programs. Standardly for your exam, from the exam point of view, we usually in the textbooks, no, this method is given. The textbook which we follow, in that they have given you the second method. This method is not mentioned in the textbooks. If you write very complicated programs, I guess then we will think on terms of which is efficient. Both are equally powerful and efficient to access the values. See, whichever you are comfortable, you write.
I mean, which is common to use.
Second.
Like
This one. This one is used. So, did you all understand the concept of pointers and structures?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. How about the entire class? How about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
What you do, now I'll tell you the one method now. What you do, first is pointers. After pointers, we started with pointers and variables. That is the simple one. Remember the syntax. After this, we studied pointers and arrays, the second one. After that, what did we study? We studied pointers and structure, like strings, strings which are stored in arrays, basically character strings. So here the again initialization part is the same one. After that, we came up with pointers and structures. So again in structures, we made use of the ampersand symbol here. Only for arrays, we are not making use of ampersand symbol. So basically the whole concept of pointers revolves around storing memory addresses and trying to fetch from memory addresses. Now, with this, you should also remember the most important concept here, that is the data types. That is what data types I'm talking. If I just declare a normal variable here, if I say int, I'll write the variable a is equal to 19, and let me declare another pointer variable also. Let me declare it of type integer star p, or say star ptr. Now you should always be sure that your data type of the pointer and data type of this variable both have to be same. I cannot say that I will declare another pointer variable of type character and I will make it to point to ampersand a, because here the data type of pointer is character. What I'm trying to store? I'm trying to store the address of a. Fine, address, no problem. But why is the problem? Can you tell me here why this declaration is not allowed? Why the pointer data types and variable data type should be same?
Because of that asterisk, and we have to go to the value.
Correct. So if you understand pointers correctly, you'll be able to answer this. Why data types should be same is because whenever we talk of pointers, we make use of two symbols, asterisk and the address ampersand operator. So with the help of pointers, we are trying to go through the address, and from the address, we are going to the actual content, that is the actual value that variable is holding. So if the data types are different, if I say here a and 19 is declared, how can char hold the value of a numeric data type? So that is why you should remember that whether it is arrays, variables, or I say character arrays, all these pointer values and this variable values should have the same data types. So since we have talked on structures, we need to declare this pointer also of type structure.